The bomb went off in a place that is hard to say, Novaya Zemlya. It is a place where there are two big pieces of land that are surrounded by a very cold sea. The sea has ice on it sometimes. The place is part of a big country that has many people, Russia, but the place is very far from where most of the people in that country live. The place is near the top of the world, where it is very cold all the time. The place is white because it has snow on it most of the time. The place does not have many green things, like grass or trees, or many animals, because it is too cold for them to grow or live there. The bomb went off on the last day of October in 1961. That was a long time ago, more than 60 years. It was a Monday, and the weather was cold and cloudy. The world was in a tense time called the Cold War, when two big countries, the Soviet Union and the United States, were competing and threatening each other with nuclear weapons. On that same day, the Soviet Union also decided to take away the body of their former leader, Stalin, from a place where people could see him, because they wanted to forget some of the bad things he did. The bomb they tested was called Tsar Bomba, which means king of bombs, and it was the biggest and strongest bomb ever made. The bomb came from a big flying thing, a plane, and went off in the sky, about 4 big steps above the ground. The bomb made a very big ball of fire and a big cloud that looked like a mushroom. The cloud went very high, almost to where the stars are. The bomb also made a very strong push of air, a shock wave, that broke glass and hurt buildings very far away. The Tsar Bomba was made and set off by a big country called the Soviet Union, which does not exist anymore. They had a group of people who worked on making very strong bombs. This group started in 1943, when there was a big war in the world, and they learned that another country, the United States, was making a bomb that could destroy a whole city. The leader of this group was a man named Andrei Sakharov. He was very smart and knew a lot about science and math. He helped make the first Soviet bomb in 1949, and then he helped make the Tsar Bomba, which was much bigger and stronger than any other bomb before. He did not like how the Soviet Union treated its people and other countries. He spoke up for peace and freedom, and he won a big prize for that. The Soviet Union made and tested many bombs over the years, but they stopped in 1990, when they agreed with other countries to stop making more bombs. The barometric sensor detects the final altitude. Bridge wire detonators release an electric spark to detonate the chemical bomb. The chemical bomb detonation causes compression inside the plutonium and releases bursts of neutrons. One atom of plutonium is hit by a neutron, splits into two, and releases energy, producing 2 or 3 additional neutrons. Each of these goes on to react or split other plutonium atoms, thus maintaining a chain reaction that produces a high level of heat, higher than even that at the center of our Sun. The center of the Sun's temperature results in an atomic explosion. The fission explosion creates high-energy gamma rays and X-rays which heat up the styrofoam and turns it into plasma. The heat and pressure of the plasma compress the fusion cylinder, causing the lithium deuteride to react and form helium and more neutrons. The neutrons cause the uranium casing and plutonium rod to undergo more fission reactions. This causes more pressure on lithium deuteride, producing more fusion, which releases more neutrons, causing more fission. The positive feedback loop of the fission-fusion reaction goes back and forth until a huge explosion occurs, ripping everything apart. Amazingly, all these events happen in only 600 billionths of a second, producing a mushroom cloud over 60 kilometers high. The resulting damage was equally massive, with buildings more than 160 kilometers away reportedly damaged. The bomb made a very loud noise and a very bright light, which hurt the ears and eyes of many people and animals. The noise and light also broke many things, like buildings, trees, and cars. The bomb also made a big hole in the ground, which was very deep and wide. The bomb made a lot of fire and heat, which burned many things and people. The fire also made a lot of smoke, which made the air dirty and hot. The smoke also blocked the sun, which made it dark and cold. The fire and heat also made the wind very strong, which blew many things away. The bomb had some things in it that were not good for living things, like people, animals, and plants. These things were called radioactive, which means they can make other things sick or die. The radioactive things got into the air, the water, and the soil, and they stayed there for a long time. They also got into the bodies of living things, and they made them sick or die. Some of the sicknesses were cancer, leukemia, and birth defects.